Hello everyone, this is Nuriddin with you today, and in this video we're gonna solve one kata. Kata means a challenge from Codewars, which is a very good website if you just want to boost up your knowledge of your programming language, or if you just want to practice your skills. It's a very great website, and that's why I just decided to share it with you as well. And we're gonna do one kata. As I said before, kata means challenge. We're gonna do it on JavaScript as we usually do in the past videos. So if you haven't watched my previous videos, please jump back and watch it. I really recommend it. It was fun to solve katas. And if you are new in our YouTube channel, please don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to give thumbs up if you like this video, and don't forget to comment your solution as well, because it will be very fun to discuss your different solution, right? You might have, right? I'll respond to all of you. So if you're ready, let's get started. So it's saying that it's 6Q, and it's saying that valid braces. So write a function that takes a string of braces and determines if the order of the braces is valid. It should return true if the string is valid and false if it's invalid. So this kata is similar to the valid parenthesis kata, but introduces new characters, brackets, and curly braces. Thanks to Arnie Deck, they're thanking for someone for the idea. And all input strings will be non-empty, so we don't have to check if it's empty or not. And will only consist of parentheses, brackets, and curly braces. So they will give only brackets, closing and opening brackets, square brackets, and curly braces. So that's a nice touch. We don't have to check if it's brackets or not, and that's why it's good. So now, and saying that what is considered valid: a string of braces is considered valid if all braces are matched with the correct brace. So if it opens and closes in the correct order, then we should return true, otherwise false, as you can see in some of the examples right here, right? So here everything is opening and closing nicely, and it's happening in order here as well, but it's just nested. So but in here it's opening brackets and closing it with curly braces. That doesn't match, right? So that's why it's returning false. And in here as well, it's not, the order is not correct, that's why it's returning false. And in here as well, it's opening and closing it with square brackets. It's opening it with brackets and closing it with square brackets. That's not true, right? So I just made a quick map, logic of the code that we're gonna build in this video. And as you can see here, right here, I made 3 steps, and some steps for the second one. So let me just explain to you what the logic is, and then we're going to turn the logic into real code. So first we're going to create an empty array called openings to place opening brackets. So we're just going to get all of the opening brackets from the given input and push it to this openings variable. And when we are looping over this, right? So next one is loop over each character, dot means character, in braces in this given input. So we have to loop over each letter, and then we have to check if the character is equal to an opening brackets. So if it's equal to, if so, push that character to this openings array, as I told you, right? If it's not equal to an opening brackets, then we'll check if the openings array that we pushed opening brackets, right? If it's empty, then we will return false, because given input will not have any opening brackets, right? So that will be invalid, so we'll return false directly. And then we're gonna get the last element from the openings array so we're just gonna get the last elements from the opening brackets from the given input, right? And then we're gonna check if looped character right here is equal to closing brackets, and if if last element is also equal to opening brackets, then we'll just get the last element from the opening and then pop it, so we'll remember it from there. And then finally, if the openings array is empty, so there will be no characters opening brackets in the openings, because everything will be closed, right? Everything will be in order and closed as it requires in the kata. So that's why it will return if so, otherwise it will return false. So if you already hope you guys understood what I mean. And now let's turn this logic into code. So first we have to create a variable called openings and place empty array in there, and then we have to for loop each letter in the given input, which is braces, and let I be equal to 0. If I is less than braces dot length, then we'll execute the code, following code that I will give. Otherwise it will stop, and then it will execute if this condition right here is true, and then it will add plus to this I variable and will continue looping like this. So now our scope is opened, and now let's place these tasks in here. So that's good. Oh, this one is not considered to this one actually. So okay, so now let's move on to the next one. So it's saying that check if the character is equal to an opening brackets. If so, push that character to this openings array. So let's do that. So we'll check if braces at that position I. Even though this given input is a string, we can also get the letters considering the position, right? It's not only in arrays, I mean. So we'll get the character at position I from the given input, and then if we'll check if it's equal to an opening brackets. So let's check that, or we'll check for 3 of those that might be given, right? So if it's equal to squared off brackets, or braces at that position I is equal to here we go, is equal to curly braces openings, right? So if so, then we'll get the openings array right here that we have created, and then we'll push that character, that position I, to that variable, which is empty string. But else we'll open our block and let's place this nicely in here. So otherwise we'll check if the openings array is empty. If it's empty, as I've said before, there will not be any opening brackets in the given input, so we'll return false directly. So we'll say if openings dot length. So by default, if it's 0, it will return false because 0 is falsy value, right? But if you do like this, it will consider 0 as true, because we're saying if openings dot length isn't positive value, isn't true C value, then we'll return false directly. Okay, here we go. So now let's get the last element from the openings array. So we'll say last element, as it says right here, and then we'll say openings at position openings dot length -1. Why -1? Because this dot length property doesn't count from 0, but programmers in this array consider it as counting from 0, so we have to just -1 from it, because this will be +1 value, because we have to count it from 0, right? So now in here we have to check if braces at that position I is equal to a closing bracket, and if this last element right here, which is opening bracket of the last one, is equal to opening bracket, then last element is equal to an opening bracket, then we'll do execute following code. But before that, we have to check for 3 of those, right? So we'll do like this. So we'll get it to brackets, separate brackets, and we'll say or. So this condition right here is one condition, so we're checking for other conditions like square brackets and curly braces. So I can just copy that, because that's almost the same. We just have to change the brackets, and that's all. So let me copy that and paste it in here. So now let's do or right here. Let's change the characters right here, brackets, and we'll say this will be for the closing square brackets, and this will be for opening square brackets. So here, let's paste as well. So, but in here we have closing curly braces, and here we have opening curly braces. So if so, then we'll just get the openings array and then pop. This pop function will just get the last element from it and just pop from there, and we'll just remove it from there. Otherwise, we'll just break it, because we shouldn't do anything otherwise, right? So let me explain you what is happening in here. But before that, let me quickly check if our code is working or not. We forgot the final step. Return openings.length. So if the openings.length is 0, then we'll return true, otherwise not. So I hope you got it. Let's try it out in here. So it's sending a request. Let's wait, and it's saying that good job, and we have passed all the tests. So that means that it's true. And now let me explain to you what right here is happening. So better I show it to you in console, because so that you get a better positive sense of satisfaction, right? So let's do it right here. So let's test it for this one, for example, right? Some brackets, square brackets, curly braces, curly braces closing, square brackets closing, and brackets closing. So what it will do in this case, it will create a just empty array. So like this, as we're doing right here, openings, right? Let me make it bigger to you so that it was visible to you. So it will create an empty array, and then it will loop over each letter in here. So it will just loop over from start, just loop over every single character in this given input, and then it will check if that character is equal to an opening brackets. If it's so, then it will push it to this array. So let's say the first one is an opening bracket, yes. The second one is opening bracket, yes. Then it will push it. The third one is opening bracket, yes. Then we'll push it. So here we go. So now, and then after that, it will not be an opening bracket, so it will just ignore it and go to the else block. So in else block, we're checking if this openings array is empty. If it's empty, then there will not be any opening brackets in this given input, so it will return false directly. And then after that, it will get the last element from the openings array. If it's not if it's not empty, of course. And then it will check if this looped characters is equal to closing brackets, and if last element is equal to an opening bracket, it will do the following code. It will just pop the last element from the openings array. So let's say that here it goes, and finally when it comes to this character, it says that it is equal to closing curly braces, right? And then we'll get the last element from this openings array, which is right here, right? So and then it will get it, and if it's equal to an opening curly braces, then we'll just pop from here. It will just do like this, just pop it from here. It will remove it, and finally it will do it for other characters, and finally there will be an empty array. So if it's empty array, then it will return true right here, as it says in this return third step, right? And then it will return true, otherwise false. Let me show it to you by copying this function right here. So I'm just pasting the function, and then we'll try it. So what was the name of the function? Wild braces. Okay. So if I do it for this case that we have tried before, right? So it's returning true. And it is true. So this was the main logic of our today's kata, and hope you guys enjoyed it, because it was very interesting, right? Solving this kata. And I'm very thankful to you. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And then if you like it, please don't forget to give thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe our channel if you are new in here. See you next time. Bye bye.